Hello, rugby fans. I'm Brendan Monroe, and with me today is Mike James, and we're moments away from Capilano RFC taking on the Vancouver Rowing Club here from Klahanie Park in West Vancouver. A perfect day for rugby, isn't it, Mike?
What a wonderful Saturday. It's been a full club day here at the Capilanos. I believe 5 games were on. The stands are packed. The premier match hasn't started. It's a bit of a Lionsgate derby today. Battle of the Lionsgate Bridge, the rowing club versus the Capilanos at home here at Klahanie Park. What a beautiful Saturday. What a glorious day for rugby. Lots of fans here. Hoping for our public out there viewing online can enjoy the match that we're going to watch live here.
Usually the Battle of Lionsgate Bridge is trying to fight your way into that single lane control. There's going to be a lot of jostling in the lanes on the field out there as well today. We'll go over the starting lineups, but we expect once that ball works its way to the outside, there'll be great options for running with the conditions they have out there today. So I will start with the hometown Capilano RFC. Starting in the front row, we have Andrew Crandall at hooker, Sean Hurley, and number 3, the tight head, is Vinnie McCauley. In the second row, we have Sam Lanigan and Reed Tucker. In flanker, we have Jeff McKinnon, as we saw. Check that. That's Glenn McKinnon, who is at number 8. Who was kind enough to join us on BC Rugby Club the other day. Also back there, Chase Kelleher, a BC Bears player, gets in there wearing number 7. The scrum half is Chris Robinson, who continues to be right near the top of the scoring race in the Canadian Direct Insurance Premier League. Going into the backs at fly half, we have Nathan Hanam, Adam Zaruba, who scored a fantastic try for Canada, as we saw in the Vegas Sevens, draws into the lineup today. He'll be wearing number 11. Cody Pittman and Nathan Yanagia are your centers, and Will Turner playing 14, and Tom Turner, the fullback, rounds up the Capilano lineup. And Mike, why don't you walk us through the rowers?
Sure. The rowing club today is going to start Ryan Chapman, John Shaw, and Chris Seiler in the front row. Second rows will be Justin Parlato and Brandon Kay. The back row will start with Skylar Dumas, James Pond-Jones, Lachlan Campbell. Scrum half will be Andrew Meekin serving Richard Thompson. On the wings, we'll have Kevin Gurniak and Nick Samija. Centers will be Connor Cleary, Brian Durham, and at fullback, a Frenchman, Romain Plante.
Perfect. They had a bit of a late start to the game leading up to this one, so that's pushed our kickoff time just a few minutes back. Stay with us. We're just going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back live for kickoff between Capilano and Vancouver Rowing Club.
For every passion, there is an ultimate destination. A place revered by countless tales. For salmon fishing, that destination is Langara Island. Immerse yourself in natural splendor and enjoy the greatest fishing experience of your life at Langara Fishing Lodge.
Silly Willy Billy is a million miles away. When I had a little mind that I needed him to stay, but I don't now, cause I'm mom and dad, I'm a grown-up boy. Saving all my money, gonna buy myself a new toy. Took a jet to the bottom of the visionary mind, where I'm making up the words to a song that doesn't rhyme. If you can't see me, then you better leave a note. Wait, scratch that, cause I'm never gonna be at home. Home, such a funny little thought. Everybody thinks now that I oughta rock. Nah, true, if you know what's best for you. Shut my eyes down now, can I get a deep blue? Sipping 7 Up like a full grown man. Even got a beard now, got a Gotta jump now, it's almost 75 degrees. If you're looking at the window, bet you feel the breeze. Got enough sun now to make your skin wanna dive. Outside one time, let's fly, high rise. Got an itty bitty care on the itty bitty earth. If you don't know what to wear, then you don't know what it's worth. If you don't know what it's worth, then you don't know what you're missing. Everybody in the right mind gonna wish in. Oh. Okay, here we go. Ha!
Don't waste your time away in life. It's worth the wait. Never too late.
At Canadian Direct Insurance, we've all had a first car, and a second car, and then something that more closely resembles a bus. We've carpooled, car tripped, and carpool tripped. We've even had car mishaps. That's why we give you the kind of service we'd expect for ourselves. Canadian Direct Insurance.
Oh, and we're live in between some commercial breaks, waiting for the feature match of the CDI Premiership, the Battle of the Lions Gate Bridge. We're calling it the Derby match, the Capilanos versus the Vancouver Rowing Club. The teams will be taking the field here in just a few moments, so we're just going to take advantage of this time to thank again our sponsors and go on some more pre-organized video links. We'll be back shortly to start the game.
For every passion, there is an ultimate destination. A place revered by countless tales. For salmon fishing, that destination is Langara Island. Immerse yourself in natural splendor and enjoy the greatest fishing experience of your life at Langara Fishing Lodge.
Silly Willy Billy is a million miles away. When I had a little mind that I needed him to say, but I don't now, cause I'm mom and dad, I'm a grown-up boy. Saving all my money, gonna buy myself a new toy. Took a jet to the bottom of the visionary mind, where I'm making up the words to a song that doesn't rhyme. If you can't see me, Gotta jump now, it's almost 75 degrees. If you're looking at the window, bet you feel the breeze. Got enough sun now to make your skin wanna dive. Outside one time, let's fly, high rise. Got a itty bitty care on the itty bitty earth. If you don't know what to wear, then you don't know what it's worth. If you don't know what it's worth, then you don't know what you're missing. Everybody in the right mind gonna wish in. Oh. Okay, here we go. Ha!
Don't waste your time away in life. It's worth the wait. Never too late.
BC Rugby has a 125-year history, a history of success and pride.
At Canadian Direct Insurance, we've all had a first car, and a second car, and then something that more closely resembles a bus. We've carpooled, car tripped, and carpool tripped. We've even had car mishaps. That's why we give you the kind of service we'd expect for ourselves. Canadian Direct Insurance.
And welcome back to Klahani Park. Really exciting weekend of rugby in the CDI Premiership. This is our feature match of the week. We're calling it the Derby, the Battle of the Lionsgate Bridge. Vancouver Rowing Club playing against the Capilano Rugby Club. Other games going on this weekend, notably on the island. James Bay versus Castaway Wanderers, which is always a highly contested rivalry on the island. And locally here we got the UBC Old Boys playing against UBC. So we've got some real high feature match this weekend, and we're about to kick off here at Klahani. The rowing club is going to be kicking off to the Capilanos. What a beautiful day, full slate of club games down at Klahani. Today is a beautiful day for rugby. If you're sitting at home on your couch and you're close to Klahani or you're close to seeing any of these games, I tell you, sneak away from the wife and kids and go out and watch some rugby today.
And if you're at home with the family, we're happy you tuned in to watch our live broadcast. There's always so many ways to connect with rugby, and we're happy to deliver them to you.
Yeah, very excited, and thank you again for the sponsors allowing us to go live here every week for a feature match. The rowers will be kicking off to the Capilanos here. Field is in good condition. Beautiful day. High dropout, close to the 10-meter line. Jeff McKinnon's going up in the air, two hands. It's fallen through. Taken in the air. Referee Sherry Trumbull's made her first call of the day, unfortunately, for a penalty charging in the air. It's going to be a penalty here for the Capilanos. I believe it's going to be Nathan Hannum who will be kicking to touch. Doesn't find it. Usually when you kick to touch on this side, it bounces off the roof. Fielded by the rowers. Trying to get to the middle of the field. Been soundly tackled by the kicker, Nathan Hannum. Capilano's taking position on defense. Rowers going to be looking to clear. But they keep the ball in hand, moving it into space. Gone down through the back line, into heavy traffic, been tackled. Again, it looks like an infraction to the breakdown. Referee's calling a penalty against the Capilanos. I believe that was Brian Durham, who's taking the ball into contact for the rowing club. Some exciting things to watch here in the game today. Capilanos have a really solid center pairing, and Adam Zarub on the wing. These are all Carson Graham athletes, locally produced and grown here in the North Shore. A certain source of pride for the Capilanos. We're going to have the first line out of the game for the rowing club. This will be John Shaw. Into a short line situation. Looks like a... Pardon me, the referee's just adjusting the lines for the tunnel. Looking like a four-man line-out option. Good safe option up to the front, down to the relay to John Shaw. Through the hands of Chris Seiler. Kick through by Nathan Hannum of the Capilanos. Recovered under pressure by the rowers. Rowers have regained possession. looking to move the ball through the hands in the back line. The Roars are going to run. They're a young, fit, mobile team. Move the ball. Ball's been released to the wing. He has gone to the races. Out he goes, in and out, showing off he's been able to beat the last defender, but stumbles over. Capilano's there to contest the ball, but it is in Roars' possession. But there is a penalty on the play. The ball was not released by the tackler. Penalties for the Capilano. Great passage of play by the Roars there. I think that's an indication of what we're going to see today. Moving this ball in the great weather we have today, and we're going to see a good flowing game of rugby.
When we spoke with Chris Seiler on Thursday for BC Rugby Club, he did mention that that was the game plan for the Roars. They certainly wanted to get the ball to the backs, play wide rugby. They have a bit of a smaller pack than Capilano does, and so they certainly want to use their game plan to their advantage, and that would be to use those mobile, quicker backs whenever they can.
Well, the weather's going to help dictate that. What a beautiful day today to throw the ball around, and certainly that's the intentions we're seeing here from the rowing club. Good passage of play and good use of skill to release that outside runner. First line out of the day for the Capilano. Sean Hurley will be throwing the ball in. Putting the ball to Jeff McKinnon in the middle. Cleanly taken, but signaled not straight by the referee. So we're going to have a scrum here for the rowing club.
This will be the first opportunity for Capilano to dictate their size advantage in the scrum. We'll see how this first one goes.
Some serious beef in the Capilano pack today. That front row looks like they haven't missed a meal in a while. And they've got a good young athletic second row. Last time we broadcast here against James Bay, I thought Reed Tucker showed himself very well. Be watching him closely today. Lots of crowd here today, including dogs in the background, so apologize for the noise. Rower scrum under pressure, but they're able to get the ball out. Pressured by Chris Robinson of the Capilanos. Knock on the play here. I believe it's going to be a scrum for the Capilanos. Good pressure from Chris Robinson. A constant force of leadership here at the Capilanos. This will be a first scrum for the Capilanos in a fairly decent attacking position.
We've seen a lot of points from Robinson throughout the year. They trust him with the boot, and he's very accurate with it. So he does all of their kicking, all their conversions, all their penalties. And when you get those points through the uprights, as well as the occasional try, it certainly helps you move to the top of the scoring table pretty quickly.
They're going to look to attack down the blind side. Robinson to Zaruba, who is just such a big piece of athletic power there, able to get by the first defender and get into contact. Ball played to the forwards, gone through the hands, recovered by the rowers. Opportunistic here. Good job, I believe, by the second row. Gone in there, tackled by the semi-defender. Chase Kelleher there to contest the ball. Looks like he's turned it over. Ball's gone from rowers to Capilanos, but the referees decided that it's going to be a scrum there for the Capilanos. Looked like maybe a knock-on the play.
Kelleher not with a lot of game action so far this year. Didn't play at all in the first half of the CDI season, and I believe has played once against the Ravens a couple of weeks ago. So he is looking to get into form with the rest of his teammates who have seen a lot more game action than him so far this season.
Good play by Brandon Kay there, number 5 for the rowing club, able to pick up a loose ball and really turn it into a forward charge. Again, scrum here for the Capilanos. Body position seem a bit high on engagement, but they're able to hold it steady. Not the cleanest of channel there, but the Capilano scrums in, advancing into the hands of Glenn McKinnon. Release the ball to Chris Robinson, who's going to probe the defensive line. He's tackled. Ball secured by the Capilanos, picked up by Chase Kelleher, who we've seen recently in our strength and conditioning videos of the BC Rugby Club. Another pick and go by the Capilanos. Believe that was Sean Lanigan. Jeff McKinnon carrying the ball forward. Robinson coming back the short side. That for sure is Sean Lanigan. Goes to deck, presents a ball, moving in the flow. It's gone through hands into the hands of Chase Kelleher. Continuing the probing down the blind side in the hands of Adam Zaruba. Soundly tackled by the two rower defenders. Capilano's looking to set up here in the hands of Chris Robinson. Glenn McKinnon with the ball. Reed Tucker there to drive. They're going to try and turn this into a driving maul situation. Rowers are present. There's a broken off by the hooker. Soundly tackled by rowers captain Chris Seiler on his front row opponent, John Shaw. Pardon me, on Sean Hurley from the Capilanos. Nice bone-crushing tackle.
You saw him jump up after that hit. Seiler's pretty pumped up about getting in his first licks of this game.
That reminded me of Terry Tate, office linebacker from the old the old Reebok commercials. Woo!
Yeah, but his coworkers weren't expecting that. Of course, Hurley was out there and he knew what was coming.
Yeah. We have a pause here. Looks like Chase Kelleher is just getting some minor medical treatment there.
While we attend to that, would like to thank all of our partners at BC Rugby who help us deliver streaming rugby in our feature game every week. We would like to thank Canadian Direct Insurance, B2 Gold, Neurogenesis Happy Water, Adira Live West Coast, Extreme Rugby Wear, Okanagan Spring Brewery, Grosvenor, Avison Young, Thorstenson's, and Langara Fishing Adventures.
A great day here down at the Klahani Park. Lots of people. The stands are full. It's everyone absorbing some sunshine. Hard to believe it's the end of February. A shout out to all of Eastern Canada today.
A bit malicious from you.
And listen, if you're watching the game today online and you want to send us a tweet or a comment, please tweet us at BC Rugby
Union.
BC Rugby Union on Twitter, and we'll see if it's politically correct, if we can put it on the air. We're going to have a scrum here for the rowing club.
Well, if we put you on the air every week, Mike, it doesn't necessarily have to be politically correct.
You get what you pay for. Ball released to the backs again. Rowers are looking to run it even from their own end here. Puts the ball to boot. Deep, deep, deep. Ball received by Turner. Moving to Zaruba. Capilano's on the run here. Able to get his way through tackles. Keep his legs moving. One-handed offload. Knock on the hand. Believe that was Tom Turner on the knock-on. Referee's letting it play on. Rowers are in possession. Not the cleanest passage of play. Capilano's looking to rip it back. We're going to come back to the initial knock-on. We'll have a scrum here for the rowing club.
Zaruba's had the ball a couple of times now, and he's looked pretty dangerous whenever in possession. Of course, England found out about what it's like when Adam Zaruba gets into open field in that sevens tournament in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to get to see all of those players come to Vancouver 12 months from now. We don't have an exact date yet, but the 365-day clock is give or take clicking down right now.
An enormous announcement, the Vancouver Sevens this week coming to Vancouver. It's great to see Zaruba playing here in 15 Sports Club, and I hope he gets a lot of work today. They'll be looking for it. Scrum here for the rowers. It's slipped out the back of the scrum. They're moving the ball through the hands again, looking to run. Well done. Good sound tackled by the Capilanos, but the rowers have kept it in play. They are persisting down on the open side of the field. Rowers in possession, coming back towards the middle. Bit muddy out there in the shade. Ball carrier slipped down. Coming down back to the blind side, the rowers, ball in hand. They've got numbers down there. Can they keep it in play? Seemed to be a bit of a skirmish right in front of the referee. They're fine. Players separating. Not sure what happened, but it looks like we're going to come to a scrum situation.
One thing we can say about that field as well, it looks beautiful and sunny out here. There is a lot of mud underfoot. The lower field here did take a lot of moisture a couple of weeks ago, and it really hasn't drained all the way. So wherever you see those shady patches on the far side, it's going to be a bit slippery. And Capilano should be able to use that to their advantage, knowing where those soft spots are. They play every week, whereas the rowers going for a run might be in unfamiliar territory and find their foot slipping out from under them.
No score so far in the first 10 minutes of the game here. We're going to have another scrum for the Capilanos in their own end, just outside their 22. Playing in the shade into the hands of Glenn McKinnon. Chris Robinson to Hannum. He's going to go. Hasn't moved the ball to his centers yet, says Tom Turner on the recovery. Slippery out there. Jeff McKinnon falling on a loose ball. Capilano's there to secure it. Robinson releasing. I believe that's Cody Pittman there. Another big unit, able to keep his feet. Soundly tackled by the rowers. It's a 3-on-1 on the blind side. Glenn McKinnon has been released on the wing. Big sound. Collision in front of us there. Ooh, it looks like Roman Planty is taking the worst of it there for the rowing club. Play continues. Cody Pittman into heavy traffic. Goes to ground to produce. Robinson's going to look to come down the blind side again. Chase Kelleher in between two defenders. He's got Zaruba outside. He puts the ball on the foot. Will he be able to recover? He bounces into his hands, but unfortunately a knock-on. Recovered by the rowing club. Well played by the rowers. Puts the ball back into play. Off his foot, but I believe there's an initial knock-on from Capilano. Sherry Trumbull's coming back to have a scrum for the Capilanos for the rowing club, deep in the rower's end.
Planty is back up on his feet. He took one of those kind of tackles that you see 2 or 3 times a year where the defender just gets steamrolled.
Yeah, that was a question of physics there. McKinnon is a big solid. That was a Tongan 2-step, I think that was. There was no sidestep. That was pure impact. Roman took the worst of it there, but he'll shake it off and continue to play. So we're going to have a rower scrum after the Capilano knock-on. It looks like Chase Kelleher wasn't able to recover that ball on the play and then knock the ball on.
Bright idea to chip over the top, but just the ball bouncing a little bit off
He had
the
Zaruba on the
direction.
outside. I don't know if he was aware of it or not, but needed a little more pressure there to convert that to a scoring opportunity.
We talked about him just playing, I believe, in his second game of the year, and that's what happens when you haven't quite got in sync with the rest of your teammates.
Scrum's gone in Capilano's favor. Moving the ball. Cody Pittman the ball in hand to Nate Yanagia. First touch of the ball, and he's soundly met by the rowers. Good pressure defense. Cody Pittman able to recover the ball. Just shucking people away, moving his feet. He's offloaded there to Tom Turner again, who has gone to ground. Rowers are very present in the game today. Got a highly contested derby match, as we expect, in this derby of the Lionsgate Bridge.
Some great tackles out there so far. A lot of
Very
physicality in the
physical
early
game. Good rugby game we're watching today. Chase Kelleher carrying that up after Jeff McKinnon. Ball's come back to Chris Robinson. It looks like they got space and some numbers out here. Sound attempt of a tackle on Pittman, but another big unit. The ball is lost in contact. Capilano's had numbers there. They need a little more depth. They're flat, not able to move the ball.
Yeah, it looked like we had a try potentially on for Capilano, but just a little too slow working the ball across the line. But they're punishing the rowers even when they aren't getting the ball out wide by just getting it through the centers and just driving over players.
Yeah, the Capilanos have three backs that are of XL size. Adam Zaruba, Cody Pittman, and even Yanagi in that class. They're big, heavy, strong guys, big, heavy ball runners. The rowers are going to be committed to the cause to tackle. But they're certainly giving up some pounds per man in those positions.
Something we might see later on in the game as well is the rowers just don't have that depth on the bench. They don't have as many subs that they can amply get into the game at this level. So if there's an injury due to one of those tackles or a collision, the rowers may struggle to substitute that player at the caliber they require to keep the Capilano RFC players at bay.
Rowers are able to put that ball into touch off the play, and we have a line out just outside or on the 22 of the rowers for the Capilanos. Sean Hurley looking to throw the ball in here. Last time wasn't straight, but they've got lots of options in their line out. Going to Jeff McKinnon again. Two-handed take. Capilanos look to drive this in. Trying to form a maul. Rowers are present on defense. Bodies flying all over the place, trying to move forward. The ball's at the back. Chris Robinson there just steering the boat. Tough to see from our angle, but they are making yards of Capilanos. We're not sure who's got the ball in possession. It looks like they've gone to deck. A pick and go. Close to the line, but the rowers there are present. Looks like we're close over the line, but held up by the rowers. Capilanos did not score.
Our referee, Sherry Trumbull, right on top of that one to make sure the ball was, in fact, held up. Good presence on the line by the rowing club. They were tested earlier in their defense, and they managed to do everything they could to keep the ball out. So well done to the rowers on that sequence.
The rowers are omnipresent on defense. They are, they're out here they're in it to win it. Capilanos are putting the pressure on. Looks like we've got one gentleman on his taking a knee here. Could just be a shoe problem, but we're gonna have a scrum here. Looks like Chris Robinson has the ball. We're gonna have a scrum here for the Capilanos. Very close, 5 meters out from the rowers' line. The rowers will be under pressure.
Well, no points on the board so far. It's been a very exciting first 10-15 minutes of this rugby game. Both teams really fired up. You can tell they're both really focused on their job at hand, and we've seen a lot of big collisions out there.
Yeah, we got two teams that really want the win today, and we've got perfect weather conditions, crowd and atmosphere. Today's going to be a beautiful day for rugby. Scrum for the Capilanos. Ball's gotten to the back there. Glenn McKinnon picks it up. Pass it along to Chris Robinson. One-on-one with Adam Zaruba, close to the line. 2, 3, 4 defenders to try and stop him, but he's put a foot into touch. Well defended by the rowers under pressure. Great cover tackle. 4 defenders there to try and knock Zaruba off, but he actually slipped a foot in touch before.
I thought it might have been one of those tackles there with the arms didn't get in, and if that had been the case, it would have been a very interesting decision from the referee as to whether that try counted or not. But just as that was going on, Zaruba did step very briefly on the line.
Looks like John Shaw's going to throw the ball in here for the rowing club. Very close to their line. This is a high pressure situation for the rowers. They need good, clean possession. Take the pressure off. They're going to the middle. The ball's been overthrown. Recovered by Glenn McKinnon, as he always does. He's like a raccoon out there picking up loose balls. He's a scavenger. Capilanos are turning this into a maul, putting the rowers under pressure. They're able to keep their feet. Numbers present. We're not sure where the ball is. Looks like there's a plunge for the line. Ball's going to come back. Referee's got her arm up. Chris Robinson's going to release the ball to Hannum. He's going to carry the ball to the line. Soundly defended again by the rowers. Well done. Capilano's playing with the flow. Sean Hurley not sure what to do, but it looks like the referee's going to come back to the original infraction. We have a penalty here for the Capilanos, about 5 meters out from the rowers' goal line. Or try line, sorry. Ball in the hands of Jeff McKinnon.
Good sustained pressure from Capilano, but we've seen a few times from them this year not able to capitalize and get the points when they've been in situations like that. That's been the story in their 2 losses, and it hasn't been the story in their 6 wins. So rowers doing what they need to do to maybe get in Capilano's head, and they can use this to their advantage if they can just find a way to squeak out of their own territory here.
Capilanos have tapped the ball in the touch, and so they're going to have a line out here, 5 meters out from the rowers' line. If they can get good, clean possession, I'd expect a good chance to score here. Ball's been overthrown through the hands of Glenn McKinnon. Rowers are looking to move the ball down the line again. They've put it to space here just off the boot. I believe that's Will Turner's recovered it there. We're lucky today for the Capilanos. We've got 2 McKinnons and 2 Turners. It reduces our error rate. Pittman to Yanagia, close to the far touch line. Rowers are present on defense again. Coming back in the midfield here with Jeff McKinnon, soundly met by a rower defender. Ball is there, coming back, Chris Robinson releasing it to Glenn McKinnon. Into heavy traffic, soundly tackled by the Rowers, released to Hannum, able to, excuse me, keep his feet. One hand release to, I believe, Will Turner. And it looks like we had a Capilano player in support run about 6 meters out of touch there. I'm not sure what was going on. Capilano hand, ooh, big Vince McCauley with the ball in hand, just moving bodies out of the way, presenting the ball. Pick and go, Capilanos. The Rowers are defending smartly. One-on-one tackling, keeping guys on their feet, able to keep a defensive line. McKinnon releasing to Jeff McKinnon. Ball's floating around loosely in the hands of Vince McCauley again. Just using his mass, getting through defenders. Reed Tucker there trying to spin out to offload. Robinson's going to move the ball. Not the cleanest of passes, but into the hands of Cody Pittman, who's got a head of steam. Rowers are present on defense. Following through in the open side. Hannum there to release. Turner, who is over for the first try of the game.
Great sequence there from Capilano, retaining possession, moving the ball from side to side. That one was set up by McCauley, who was able to step through the tackle line, and then the ball was released all the way to the winger on the far side. And after about 7 or 8 minutes of sustained pressure from Capilano, the breakthrough finally happens, and they get their first 5 points on the board.
I think that's the key. Sustained pressure from the Capilanos are able to get to a scoring opportunity for them, because the Rowers are very present and very active on defense, playing very, very smart rugby. So the Capilanos are really going to have to work hard for the points today. It'll be Chris Robinson trying to go for the transformation here, the conversion from the far touch line. Again, a big weekend here in the CDI Premiership. James Bay's playing Castaways over on the island. UBC's playing UBC Old Boys. Capilanos versus Rowing Club. These are all derby matches. I know BLRC, Burnaby Lake, is playing an exhibition game in Seattle. UVic has got the weekend off, I believe. Chris Robinson going for the conversion here, the score being 5-0 for score of the game after approximately 20 minutes. The kick has gone wide. And this is always the real test in a rugby game. You score, you're going to get the ball back. Can you take that ball clean and get back into putting on pressure, or will you make a mistake and allow the opposition back in the game?
Certainly one of the early pivotal moments in that game here today was that Capilano was able to finally push that ball over the line, because if they had been denied after 5 or 7 minutes on offense like that, you would have to think that they would start doubting themselves pretty early on.
Bit of a line drive drop out there into the hands of Jeff McKinnon, soundly met by 2 rowers. Robinson to Reed Tucker, taking into his opposition the second row. Chris Seiler over top of the ball, captain of the Rowers. Vince McCauley again, he is a big man, carrying that ball into heavy traffic. Robinson to Hannum, to Pittman. Soundly met by the Rowers defenders. Those Rowers centers today are doing a great job on defense. Pittman able to roll out. He hasn't been cleanly brought down. Now he has. Referee saying play on. Robinson's going to move to Hannum. Flat runner to Reed Tucker. Nathan Yanagia soundly met just at the same time as the ball. Again, good pressure from the Rowers. They're doing a great job of trying to neutralize the Capilano centers midfield today. Moving the ball to Chase Kelleher. Good tackle again from Brandon Kay. The Rowers are actually very, very present, very, very instinctual on defense today. Vince McCall in the open field is always going to be tough to bring down. Hanging on there, 1, 2, 3 Rowers to bring him down, able to produce the ball. Capilanos have a nice deep line here into the hands of Jeff McKinnon. They're a bit flat, but gone through. Sam Lanigan into tackle. Ball's been spit out the side, put to the boot by Seiler. Zaruba playing backwards, Capilano's going backwards. Rowers are there, present on defense. Very hungry at the point of contact, the Rowers, but being very effective with 1 tackler each. Hannum to Kelleher, trying to shake his way through some tackles. Into the hands of Reed Tucker again, into Yanagia. Big tackle there from the Rowers, but Yanagia is able to bounce off and keep his feet. Finally brought to deck. Is he able to produce a ball? Number 5 kind of sealing. Looks like the referee's given the arm up here in the advantage. Kelleher into the defensive line. Numbers present. Robinson to Tucker. Into Lanigan. Ball is there. Robinson's going to move the ball one-handed to Yanagia. Set through to Zaruba. Can he release Turner on the wing? He can, and they're off to the races. Coming through. Well defended by the Rowers. Offload again. Zaruba should get involved, but Robinson's got the ball there. Tackled close to the Rowers line. Ball's been kicked through. I believe the referee objected to Planty putting his foot on the ball there. We have a stoppage in play. I hope there's not a card there for the professional fault. But definitely a penalty here against the Rowers. Good passage of play. Again, pressure. Capilanos are at their best when they can keep their feet, keep their pressure on, and consume these Rower defenders, because the Rowers are defending very, very well one-on-one, and they're being very smart at the contact point. So the Capilanos need to multiply the points of pressure.
It's going to be a real endurance test for those Rowers defenders, especially in the centers. They have a battle of will going on right now, and they will be testing all of that time in the gym and all of that endurance they have, because if they keep getting run at like that, eventually the will to make those really tough tackles starts to fade over the course of 80 minutes.
For sure. I mean, backs aren't known for their passion of tackling, and they've had to do a lot of it against some heavy guys today. Looks like Roman Plante is going to be getting a yellow card here. He's been asked to leave the game for 10 minutes on that professional fault. So the Rowers will be a man down with a lineup for the Capilanos on the 5 meters from the Rowers try line.
That professional foul did slow the play down and maybe even save a try. So not the worst foul to take, but not in the spirit of the game.
Well, we'll see the results of it in the next 10 minutes here. Jeff McKinnon with a 2-handed take. Capilanos have got secure possession, but not straight again. That is some untimely execution in the lineouts for the Capilanos, not able to win possession when needed in the penalty situation to turn that pressure into points. So we're going to have a scrum here for the Rowers. Again, a man down. They're missing a fullback.
At some point, the Rowers will want to get their hands on the ball. They haven't seen much of it in the first half. They have a priority of just getting out from under this challenge, but at some point, you got to do something with the ball to start the counterattack.
Scrum work to the Capilanos' favor. Glenn McKinnon able to get the ball up, but under pressure. Robinson's able to extract it again, as he always does. Hannum to Yanagia, skipping Pittman. Running a bit sideways to Capilanos, but the Rowers are present on defense. Robinson here persisting down the open side into the hands of Jeff McKinnon. Soundly met by 2 Rower defenders, and I believe, looks like everyone stopped playing, so he must have been pushed in the touch there. Sherry Trumbull just right on the ball today. I think she's having an excellent game, the referee today. Keeping the flow going here, consulting with her touch judges. Not sure what the call is. But the Rowers are doing a great job of scramble defense today, keeping their structure, putting pressure at first phase defense, and reacting well to the opportunities that are at hand here today. So we're going to have a scrum. It looks like a Capilano scrum on the far side of the field, well within the 22 meters of the Rowers. Rowers do have a bit of a size advantage in the forwards today, but their execution of the line-out has not worked in their favor. Ball's at the back there in the capable hands of Glenn McKinnon. The scrum is just crabbing its way back towards the center of the field. McKinnon to Robinson to Hannum. He's going to use his inside option with Big Zaruba coming through on the line. He is tackled, but try was given.
Chase Kelleher getting the ball off that quick pass and diving across the line and getting Capilano's second try of the day.
A try well deserved by the Capilanos there. Didn't see it quite come off so cleanly from our position, but obviously accorded by the referee. And I like the inside option of the blindside wing. It's one of my favorite attacking game aspects that is rarely used in today's rugby, but when you got a guy like Zaruba, you want to put the ball in his hands as many times as you can. Chris Robinson will have an easier shot at the 2 extra points here for the transformation. The score being 10-0 for the Capilanos over the Rowing Club. About 28 minutes, 27 minutes played so far. It's been a great club day here at the Capilanos. I believe there's a full slate of 5 club games, women's 2/3, first division and Prems today, so it's been a great club day down at your local rugby club here. And the kick is good. That'll bring the score to 12 for the Capilanos and 0 for the Rowing Club. But the Rowers have been in this game a man down currently with some time to go on that yellow card, but the Rowers have been in this game. We're going to have a dropout here from Richard Thompson of the Rowing Club. Up to the Capilanos to secure a stable possession here to turn some more pressure into points.
The real question is how long can the Rowers maintain this pace of defense? It's been wave after wave so far. You saw Plante get run over pretty hard, so I'm sure he's not at full capacity right now. They're playing a man short. So with that 14-man defense, the onslaught continues, and if Capilano can get maybe one more try, they will suck the energy out of the Rowers defense.
The dropout from Brian Durham actually did not go 10. Capilano's let it bounce. Rowers put the pressure on, but they've resumed possession. Robinson to Hannum, who's going to kick it through, a bit haphazardly over the defensive line, right on the touch line. Not sure if that obviously landed in touch, so we're going to have a line out here for the Rowing Club. Be key for the Rowing Club to get clean possession here. They need the ball. They've been playing without the ball the whole game here so far. Just on half an hour of a lot of defense. That throw is nowhere near accurate as it needs to be into the hands of Vince McCauley for the Capilanos, who's just going to carry it north-south for them, or I guess east-west the way the field's lined up. In the hands of Glenn McKinnon. Broke through the defensive line, but was unable to keep his feet. Greatly picked up by the wing there, Kevin Gruniak, I believe, of the Rowers, who's been able to shred 2 defenders. Finally tackled by Hannum on the cover defense. It is in Rowers' possession. They're on the run. Jeff McKinnon there pressuring at the point. Rowers in hand, in the hands of James Pond Jones there.
That was Samija on the run. They switched Gurniak and Samija on our rosters here.
I hate it when they do that.
They do it every week. It's always the centers switching or the wingers switching or the flankers switching, but that's what happens, and we do our best to identify the players by the names.
I hope their parents at home aren't getting upset. The ball was carried into contact but not able to be presented by the Rowers, so we're going to have a scrum here for the Capilanos just outside their own 22-meter. Good passage of play, good opportunistic passage of play from the Rowers today.
That was the first time we've really seen the Rowers run with the ball in open field since the first 2 minutes of this game. And they have a few tricks up their sleeve. They can get the ball in hand, but those occasions have been few and far between so far.
Samija's got gas there. He grilled a bunch of defenders. Ball at the back of the scrum here with Glenn McKinnon into the hands of Chris Robinson's going to dig it out with his foot. Not the prettiest of scrums, but they've got it out. Into the hands here. Cody Pittman's just going to try and take it straight over. Again, good defense by the Rowers. He's a big man to bring down, but they brought him down. In the flow with Jeff McKinnon into the hands of Tom Turner, I believe this time, who's been soundly met by the Rowers. Brian Durham is there. Bit of a scramble there. Ball's gone to ground. A knock on from the Capilano, so it's going to be a scrum just outside the 22 meters for the Rowing Club. This is a good scoring opportunity for the Rowers. It's one of the few times they've been in possession in a good position this game, this half.
We got a man down for Capilano.
We've got Chase Kelleher needing some medical attention. A few minutes left on that yellow card for the Rowing Club. They're down their French fullback. We'll have a pause and play here briefly during this moment.
We'll use this opportunity to thank all of our partners here at
idea.
BC Rugby. We would like to thank Canadian Direct Insurance, B2 Gold, Neurogenesis Happy Water, Adira Live West Coast, Extreme Rugby Wear, Okanagan Spring Brewery, Grosvenor, Avison Young, Thorstenson's, and Langara Fishing Adventures. All of those companies helping to support rugby across the province. Of course, the fans doing their best to support rugby across the province today. We have a full house here at Clahaney Park. We have probably a full house over at McDonald Park for James Bay versus Castaway. That's a great derby match. And we'll have lots of fans down to check out the students against the alumni at Jericho between the Ravens and Thunderbirds.
Not a great scrum from the Roars there, but able to get the ball back, put the ball to boot and try to get some Egypt back on the chase there, but unfortunately the ball did not bounce in his favor and the ball rolled into touch. We're going to have a line out here for the rowing club as it went off a Capilano defender. Again, another opportunity. The Rowers get their hands on the ball. They've had not too much possession here. Certainly spent most of the afternoon defending. We're going to redo that line out. Not sure what the delay is. Here we go. Line out for the Rowers. Inside the 22 meters of the Capilanos. They are going to go to the back of the line out. Not cleanly taken. Actually picked up by the hands, in the hands of Chase Kelleher. McKinnon gone to ground as well into the hands of Yanagi, who's able to give it to Adams Rubin. Fends off one defender, breaks through another two. He's in the open field. The big unit is on the run. That is a big rabbit, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's knocked the ball forward in heavy contact.
That was just a great display of athleticism from Adams Zaruba. I think
You
probably
gotta
5
hold
or
on to the
6
ball,
tacklers got a hand on him.
Got to hold on to the ball, but he went through 5 or 6 defenders there. But to the Rowers' credit, they are bringing down their biggest guys. They're doing a great job of defending themselves. We're going to have a scrum here for the Rowers. Passage of play, the Rowers did not capitalize on having a line out in the Capilano 22, are now back in their own end, but it is their ball. But they are under pressure at scrum time here from this bigger, larger Capilano pack.
The Caps might be a little disappointed there was no one helping out Zaruba on that run. He had a lot of open field if he could get around a couple of defenders, but there was no one in support. So his only option was to hold on to the ball and try to run with it. There was no pass on at all.
Yeah, well, it's just unfortunate he was not able to keep it in hands. McKinnon again to Robinson. Hannon running a bit sideways. He's going to take it to the defensive line. He is covered tackle by the back row of the Roars. Very well done. Robinson on the step to Jeff McKinnon. He's halfway through the defenders. Intercepted by the Roars. Brian Durham again. Soundly tackled by the Capilanos in retrospect here. Referee's got her arm up. If we let passage of play here, no, we're going to come back for the scrum. Good opportunistic defense there from the rowing club. Again, Brian Durham there, able to step in the passing and get the collection. We'll have a penalty here against Capilanos.
This game's had just about everything so far. We've seen great runs. We've seen really strong tackles. We've seen some good passages of play, some nice passing. The only thing we're probably missing is one of those cheeky drop goals. Not exactly a situation calling for it yet, but we've had pretty much everything else you could have in a rugby game at this point in time.
That ball wasn't cleanly struck, but it willed itself into touch here. Romain Planty is back on the field, so the Rowers are at full strength after having worked extra hard there for 10 minutes, being a man down. But I think the Rowers have been very intelligent on defense here, certainly in the midfield. Their centers have really manned up and tackled pound for pound. And again, exemplified there by Durham on that interception play. Well done. Having a little technical difficulty getting the game ball out of a tree on the far side of the field. That doesn't happen often. Fortunately, there's a gentleman there with a cane. Only in Canada, you say. Pity.
I think there's some sort of pun in there about Bush League rugby.
Can't tell the trees from the forest. We're going to have a line out here for the rowing club. Again, both teams not executing well in the line out today, which is such an important facet of play. John Shaw here in a 4-man line out, going to come back into the front with Brandon Kay. Able to take it, down for the relay to Shaw, into the hands of Seiler in the midfield. Good one-hand fend. He's through 3 Capilano defenders. Ball presented there. Ball moving in the sense. Again, Brendan Kay after the line, a big tackle from Hannum, actually disrupted the second row. Ball presented. Going to continue down the side right in front of us. Lots of numbers in Capilano defense, so Rowers able to maintain possession here. Ball moved. Some shadow runners in the hands of Seiler, who's released his second row. I believe it's Parlato. Caught up, sorry, that was Skylar Dumas who's picked up the ball. We've got a loose boot on the field. Not sure who's missing a cleat. Ooh, soundly tackled John Shaw there by the Capilanos. Good covered defense on the inside. I think that's Nate Yanagia over the ball, was able to recover possession.
What a thunderous hit that
Robinson to Kelleher. Ball lost in that exchange into the hands of Sumija again. Referee's arms up. Sumija, he's a spark plug of that ball in hand. Moving the ball again here. Across the width of the field. Into the hand of the rower centers. Been very well. They've opted to kick into space with the chase. Gurniak on a full trot. Challenging Zaruba for speed on that ball, and it's just run out of time and space as it rolls in a touch.
Good idea.
Smart play. Needed that ball to die in bounds here. Well, it was Skylar Dumas who was missing his boot there, so he was playing in his sock in that last passage of play when he had the ball.
Rugby's a lot about improvising. You don't have things go according to plan every phase. You just got to work with what you got in front of you. And
That's a great way to break a toe.
Yeah.
So that ball's rolled into touch, untouched by the Roars, so it's going to be a Capilano line out from the Roars kick. I think we've got a change in personnel here from the Roars. Lachlan Campbell looks like he's been subbed out, replaced by number 20. Unfortunately, we don't have the replacements list, so bear with us. Capilano line out, close to their goal line, inside their own 22. Lineouts have not been a great executed point for both teams today. They're going to go to Glenn McKinnon at the back. Nice, clean, straight throw. Best one of the day for the Capilanos here. Under pressure in their 22. Rowers present on defense. They're pushing them backwards. Robinson just the calm head there, making sure they go forward. Ball is advancing slowly. I believe it's in the hands of Jeff McKinnon there in that maul. Robinson to hand him. He's going to release Adam Zaruba in open space. He's got time and space. He's going to cut him. Break through two defenders. Step over with an offhanded release. That's been called forward, and rightfully so, right in front of us. But cut back on two defenders there and was able to shuck off the hooker like a wet t-shirt. But unfortunately, that one-hand passage of play went forward. So we're going to come back here for a Capilano ball.
That run really electrifying the crowd here. They're not happy that that pass was called forward, but it was one of those. It was. And it's nice to see that we have run after run from Zaruba and the other backs from Capilano, really bringing a lot of energy to this game.
No, it's been a great game of running rugby today. Everyone's had the initiative to run with the ball in hand. The kicks have only been really tactical, trying to get into space, not playing a lot of aerial ping pong, and everyone's keeping the ball in hand. So from that, looks like there's been a penalty called on the play. I'm not sure what the call is. Oh, I think it was a bit of foul play on the ball carry there. So we're going to have a penalty here for the rowing club, just in front of our viewing booth.
They haven't had a lot
if I
of
was
ball.
the Rowers, I'd be going for posts if they could. We've got to get the scoreboard ticking.
I think they're talking about it right now.
But we're down, the Rowers are down 12-0 to the Capilanos here at Klahani. Roman Planti has the ball. He's going to kick the touch. And finds it. We'll have a line out here 5 meters out from the Capilano line for the rowing club.
That's a pretty nice looking kick from
That was an
Ponte.
excellent kick. Chris Robinson perhaps not totally agreeing that ball didn't go over the I think he thought it might have gone out over the flag, but we are going to have a line out here for John Shaw and the rowing club forwards here 5 meters out from the Capilano line. Again, need clean possession here. They're going to the back. Well, there's some movements here. They're going to come into the movement in the front. Some movement there, but recovered. A bit scrambly, but in the hands of Justin Perlato. Rowers are in possession and trying to drive it over the Capilano line. Capilano's not in great position there. Oh, that was kicked through in the scrum. Coming back, it's going to be a penalty here. Penalty here against Glenn McKinnon for a lazy foot on that ball on the ground. Rowers are going to play it quick. They're going to run back into Glenn McKinnon, who's going to tackle and turn the ball to his own side, but the Rowers able to roll it back over. Advantage given here for the Rowers into the arm raised by Shuri Trumbull. Parlato trying to push down the blind side, but he's been met by Adam Zaruba. The second row forward in a winger's body. Seiler into heavy traffic. Rowers still have possession, playing the advantage here. They're best suited by going in the open flow. Got a line break. Not sure the numbers, into the hands of the replacement. And Rowers have scored under the post. Good passage of play, releasing the ball into heavy contact, and good persistence to the try line with the Rowers' first try of the game.
And wow, did the Rowers ever need that? That's their first time they've been really inside the 22, and they capitalized on that opportunity. It's all set up by that what could be controversial kick into the corner, depending on which side you see the ball go over the flag, but it all came from that, and good job by the Rowers to get their first 5 points on the board.
Yeah, excellent passage of play. That's going to put some wind in the sails for the rowing club, because they've been present in all aspects of the game today and been playing very, very well and are rewarded by a quality try in front of their bench there in between the posts. A good passage of play and a good try scored by the rowing club. That brings the score to 12-5 before the conversion here from Roman Plante, which is good. So that brings the score 12 points for the Capilano, 7 for the rowing club. And we have ourselves a rugby game here today down at Klahani. Looks like the Capilano's going to drop out to the right-hand side here, which is good. That means we have a better vista to see what's going on.
This game really in the early moments looked like it could have a lot in it, and it has not disappointed at all. The Capilanos for about 2 or 3 minutes looked like they were going to run away potentially with the first half, but that last try changes the whole complexion of this game.
Drop up to Hannum. Taken by Parlato, the rowing club. The rowers always play their best against the Capilanos in this Lionsgate Derby. Pick and go by the rowers. Tackled by Vince McCauley. A lot of arms working there around the ball. Another pick and go from the rowers. Soundly met. Ryan Chapman with his hands on the ball. Rowers having a tough time just punching across the line. In the hands of Chris Seiler. Soundly met on defense. They're going to look to pick and go again. Not sure the numbers here in the rowers right now. Doing a lot of work but not making a lot of yards. Sam Lanigan over top of that ball on defense. He's been able to be pushed off. They're coming back. Rowers are just going to kick the ball off the roof here, and we're going to end the first half. So that brings us to the first half here at Capilanos 12, Rowing Club 7 here at Klahani in the Lionsgate Derby, the Battle of the Lionsgate Bridge.
Tremendous first half of rugby for both
A
these clubs.
fantastic game of footy here, that's for sure. Both teams have the intention to run the ball. Rowers are playing very, very intelligent. They're present on defense. Capilanos are playing good, expansive rugby. Just their execution has let them down in key points to win the ball in the lineouts, notably.
We talked about this on BC Rugby Club, but the Rowers are a really tough team to put away, and they've placed themselves in a position to stick in this game, and they're going to be a hard team to get rid of in the next 40 minutes. And you're going to stay with us for the next few minutes as we go to our halftime break. Join us for second half coverage of our Canadian Direct Insurance feature game of the week, Capilano versus Vancouver Rowing Club.
For every passion, there is an ultimate destination. A place revered by countless tales. For salmon fishing, that destination is Langara Island. Immerse yourself in natural splendor and enjoy the greatest fishing experience of your life at Langara Fishing Lodge.
Silly Willy Billy is a million miles away. When I had a little mind that I needed him to say, but I don't now, cause I'm mom and dad, I'm a grown-up boy. Saving all my money, gonna buy myself a new toy. Took a jet to the bottom of the visionary mind, where I'm making up the words to a song that doesn't rhyme. If you can't see me, then you better leave a note. Wait, scratch that, cause I'm never gonna be at home. Home, such a funny little thought. Everybody thinks now that I oughta rock. Nah, true, if you know what's best for you. Shut my eyes down now, can I get a deep blue? Sipping 7 up like a full-grown man. Even got a beard now, got it looking so grand. On account of the land in the middle of my palm, and I can't admit I don't belong. Gotta jump now, it's almost 75 degrees. If you're looking at the window, bet you feel the breeze. Got enough sun now to make the skin wanna dive. Outside one time, let's fly, high rise. Got an itty bitty care on the itty bitty earth. If you don't know what to wear, then you don't know what it's worth. If you don't know what it's worth, then you don't know what you're missing. Everybody in the right mind gonna wish in. Oh. Ha!
Don't waste your time away in life. It's worth the wait. Never too late.
At Canadian Direct Insurance, we've all had a first car, and a second car, and then something that more closely resembles a bus. We've carpooled, car tripped, and carpool tripped. We've even had car mishaps. That's why we give you the kind of service we'd expect for ourselves. Canadian Direct Insurance.
And
Welcome.
we're back. Thank you for joining us for the second half action today in the CDI Premiership Game of the Week. The Capilanos playing at home against the Vancouver Rowing Club. We're dubbing it the Battle of the Lionsgate Bridge Derby match, rivalry match. The Rowing Club always plays well against the Capilanos and have certainly proved it today. Our halftime score is 12 for the Capilanos, 7 for the Rowers, and we've had a great afternoon of rugby, and thank you again for joining us. Capilanos are going to drop out to start the second half. Surely there'll be some changes here in the second half. We may not have all the substitutes, but we know the infamous Michael Jordan is playing for the Rowing Club today. Into the hands of John Shaw. He's able to break through some tackles. Tackled by Glenn McKinnon there after the initial line break. Rowers moving it in the hands of Jordan. Slipping behind the gain line. Capilano's there with Chase Kelleher, very strong at the tackle point, able to recover the ball. Chris Robinson there, tackled by the Rowing Club. Referee's got her arm raised for an infraction on an offside. I think she's dropped it. She's playing on Glenn McKinnon on the pick and go, supported by his cousin, Vince McCauley, who's been very good in the tight quarters for such a big man. Carries the ball again for about a half yard. Playing behind into Hannum, gives it the ball to Pittman with a head of steam, runs over the first tackler. Ball has been jumped on by Durham again of the Rowers. He's just working his way through 2-3 men there. Hasn't gone to deck. Rowers are in possession. I believe they've stripped the ball there inside the 22-meter, but not cleanly presented, unfortunately, so the referee's going to come back for a scrum. Capilanos inside the 22-meter to start the second half against the Rowers.
That was
a good start
segue
by the Capoways.
That was a good segue from you, Mike, between my cousin Jeff to my cousin Vinny with the ball. I like that.
Well, the Capilanos, fortunately, they're playing 2 Turners and 2 McKinnons today, so we can't screw up too many. There's 2 less names we can screw up on today.
We're just missing that extra Yannick to make life really easy for us.
Exactly. So we'll see what the Capilanos have talked about at the halftime show here. Just inside the 22 meters of the Rowing Club. Capilanos have had to work really hard for the points today, sustaining a lot of pressure against the Rowers, against a defense that's very intelligent, very opportunistic from the Rowing Club today. Robinson's going to pull the ball out here, move the ball to Hannum. Pittman again skips it out to Yanagia, who's able to dance his way through his 2 defenders in the hands of Turner, who can release another Turner on the wing, who gets the ball into the corner. No, the touch judge has signaled a foot in touch just before getting the ball down. No video replay required on that one. That's going to disappoint the Capilano crowd, but unfortunately the foot did go into touch before the ball went down. So we're going to have a line out here for the Rowing Club, 5 meters from their own line, with the Capilanos aggressively knocking on the door. Good safe front option taken there by Skylar Dumas of the Rowing Club. Just going to try and consolidate the ball so they can kick the touch. Andrew Meakin there running the troops for the Rowing Club today. Good line drive kick. I had to move my coffee cup, but here it is. Capilano's going to play quickly. They're trying to play quickly, but it's touched the fence, so that means the ball's been deemed dead. So we're going to have a line out here, still within the 22 meters for the Capilanos, inside the 22 of the Rowers.
I know when you go into hockey, every rink's a little bit different. It's got its own character. It affects the way the game is played, but you don't expect that on a rugby pitch, that the dimensions or the field would be shaped by the way the stands are, but it does impact play when the stands are right on top of the field like this.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if the stands were here first of the field. I'm pretty sure the stands came later.
Still doesn't compare to Victoria with the world's smallest in-goal area at Wallace Field.
Line out won by the Capilanos here, and they've turned this into a nice driving maul, very deep from the defensive line. They're about 5 bodies deep, the Capilanos. Rowers present, but the ball is so far back they can't get anywhere near it, which is very smart mauling tactic here from the Capilanos. Looks like it's kind of broken out. They've come around the side on the Silers as the Rowers, Chris Seiler there, as they've been able to break it up. Penalty here against the Capilanos, not releasing the ball. What started as a very well-formed maul kind of disintegrated there, and the Rowers were able to penetrate. Unfortunately, Sam Lanigan there on the penalty for not releasing the ball when he's gone to deck. Hopefully he'll have a better clearance kick here from the Rowers. Aiming for the roof of the clubhouse here. Good spin kick off the left foot.
I said Wallace a moment ago. I meant Centennial Field. It's a great place to go watch a rugby game in that big stadium, but it is certainly hard to score a try in the back of the goal area in that particular grounds.
Line out here right in front of us today for the Roars. Short man option. 4-man, he's come in the jumper. Capilano's able to get a finger on it. Glenn McKinnon bats it back to his side into the hands of Chris Robinson. Again, he's just always such a great leader for the Capilanos. When he plays well, the team plays well. Seiler there in the way. There's feet dabbling there, but we're not sure if people are using heads for balls. Capilano's able to get the ball back in the hands of Reed Tucker. Moves it to Hannum. Into hand of Pittman, who's just going to put his head down and run over the first. We got some scuffling going on here. Off the play. In front of the referee. We think we're going to have a little timeout here, a little behavioral timeout for some of the fellas. I think the touch judge doesn't want to or need to intervene on this. I think referee Sherry Trumbull's been able to control the game just fine today, all on her own.
It'd be a real shame to see a red card in a situation because somebody gets a little bit out of hand, because these two teams seem really evenly matched, and that would just throw the balance of power of this game right off kilter.
Yeah, both teams aren't really controlling the ball well when they're presenting it, so that ball is there, and so we got both teams trying to fly hack it. In that particular case, I think someone might have mistaken Seiler's head for the ball, but I think that might have been the point of contention. But the captains have been addressed here by the referee. It's going to come back to original decision. I believe it's going to be a penalty here for the Capilanos on the 40-meter line.
Both teams are going into those breakdowns very aggressively, but it does get a little bit sloppy in there when you have all that aggression just hitting the deck at the same time.
Yeah. So we have a penalty here for the Capilanos. They're going to opt for touch, put the ball deep into the Rowers' corner, hopefully. Right-footed banana kick. And it is found touch. Good kick, about 10, 15 meters. I'd say actually about, let's say 12 meters out from the Rowers try line. There'll be a line out here for the Capilanos. They've had a change at hooker. I'm unfamiliar with who this may be. Oh no, so they have not. Sorry, my apologies. That's still Sean Hurley throwing for the Capilanos. No changes to signal in the forward pack here for the Capilanos at halftime. The line out hasn't been great for the Capilanos, but they've had success at the back. Unfortunately, overthrown for Glenn McKinnon. Not straight, though.
That lineout looked like it was going to break for the Rowers going all the way down the field.
Yeah, I think the Rowers should have been able to play on that. They were able to capitalize, but that's okay. The throw was not straight. Again, too many lost balls in the lineouts for the Capilanos here. They've got the ability, they've got some good personnel to win some ball. They just haven't been able to pull it off today, which has been problematic for them. They're just giving away possession, which the Rowers are more than happy to take. But it looks like it's going to be a scrum Capilano, so I'm not sure what happened on that throw.
I think what might have happened is the Rowers got a hand on it and it spilled it forward.
Knock on ball, knock out the back here. Sorry, Robinson and Hannum, taking the ball on the defensive line. Rowers present, clawing onto the ball and the man. Robinson's going to continue with the flow. Good line taken by Reed Tucker. Came out of nowhere there. The defense didn't pick him up. He's able to get across the line. Capilano still in possession, persisting down the side in the hands of Chase Kelleher. He's able to bounce off and shrug himself to the ground here. Vince McCauley lining up in the midfield for the ball. It's kind of scrambly.
Some hard yards here for Capilano. They need about 5 more to get the
bit
cross line.
frenetic, but they do have possession. Capilano's taking the time here to get organized. Reed Tucker, Chase Kelleher going to be a first station to carry the ball in. Rowers coming up aggressively on defense. Intelligent defense today from the Rowers. Been very opportunistic. Loose ball into the hands of Zaruba. Probably not the ideal guy you want to pick up a loose ball when there's chaos. Going to feed off that, the Capilanos. Rowers able to harass that ball. Roman Plante stolen the ball from the ball carrier, the Capilanos there. Rowers possession right close to their try line. They're going to under pressure to clear the line. That's for sure. I believe that was Richard Thompson who was able to find it.
Good clearance there. It does stay inside the 22, so the pressure will stay on, but they just needed to clear their lines.
Was able to clear the line.
Desperation time there for the Rowers.
Certainly not the territory they were looking for. That's going to be a lineup for the Capilanos about 5 meters out from the Rowers try line today. A great game of rugby. Lots of positive things going on here. It's been a great afternoon for us. We certainly enjoyed ourselves.
We've seen some pretty choppy rugby games throughout the CDI season in the first half. With the weather improving and with the squads really coming into full strength, we've seen a lot more flow in this game than we've seen in previous ones, and it's just creating a much more entertaining rugby match to watch and certainly to call.
Yeah, the execution on some of the finer points here haven't been great for both teams. Jeff McKinnon, again, just nibbled through there with the ball, but Glenn McKinnon's able to carry it up. Capilano's have secured possession, but not the cleanest of balls. Picking up there taken up again by Andrew Crandall, I believe, for the Capilanos. Lots of bodies over it. They're just going to persist down the short side with Glenn McKinnon, who's always dangerous ball in hand. Again, not the cleanest of balls, but it's there. The Rowers are present. Good counter ruck by the Rowers. That ball has been spewed out by feet, but it's been penalized on it. Obviously not accidental, because that was fully intentional. We're going to have a penalty here for the Capilanos, so close to the Rowers, the try line.
Well, when you're defending your line and you see the ball at your feet, you sometimes take a little bit of liberties.
Yeah.
Just hoping you can maybe get away with it, but that didn't
pick and
happen
go
there.
played quickly by Jeff McKinnon. Soundly met by the Rowers defense. That ball is not going to come out clean. It is a quagmire in there. And actually it's been taken up by Roman Plante again from the rowing club. That's 2 actions in a row when he's been able to extract the ball from a Capilano ball carrier. Rowers are going to play well within their own end. This is not the safest of rugby, but they're able to do it. Samija there, he's been a spark plug for the Rowers. Able to carry the ball forward, about 10 meters out. Lots of Capilanos there on defense, but the Rowers are able to maintain possession. Hanneman is in there. Ball's gone to deck again. A lot of scrambly ball after these contact points. Knock on from the Rowers. We're going to have a scrum here for the Capilano.
Well, that was a high-risk play trying to run it out of their own in-goal area. It nearly worked. They did get to the corner and slowed down. But the safe play, obviously, there is just to kick it in touch. They didn't get the distance they wanted to last time, so maybe it makes sense this time around to try a different plan.
Yeah, they could have used a nice 40-meter tight spiral in that case to get it well out of their own end, but they played it in hand. They were able to get out and escape danger, but they unfortunately wasn't able to maintain the pressure. Now we have Capilano ball. We have a scrum for the Capilanos, about 10 meters out from the Rowers line, and a great attacking position for the Capilanos.
The man with the strongest boot on the Rowers, Romain Plante, was the one that was purloining the ball in the bottom of that breakdown. So no kicker in the fullback position to really hoist it away.
I bet you Plante is pretty good at the arm wrestling challenge in this Rowers team. He's stripped the ball like candy from a baby from 2 Capilano ball carriers the last 2 actions here. That scrum got reset, a bit anxious on the engagement. Chris Robinson's going to introduce the ball here for the Capilanos. Stable hasn't come quite back. Glenn McKinnon's got to dig it out. Into the hands of Robinson. Move the ball to Hannum. Into Pittman, who's flat. Some of the crowd calling that forward. But he's able to keep his feet. He's a big, strong man. That ball, again, just falling, bouncing loosely. Referee's not happy with that passage of play, so there's a knock-on from the Capilanos. Again, just what we said earlier, not securing possession well when they go to deck.
While they set up the scrum, let's set up a quick commercial announcement. We'd like to thank all of our partners who help us deliver live streaming rugby to you every Saturday. And we'd like to thank Canadian Direct Insurance, B2 Gold, Neurogenesis Happy Water, Adira Live West Coast, Extreme Rugby Wear, Okanagan Spring Brewery, Grosvenor, Avison Young, Thorstenson's, and Langara Fishing Adventures.
Good timely shout out to our sponsors, Brendan. Thank you very much. We have a Rowers scrum close to in front of their own post inside their 22. The Roar scrum has been under a bit of pressure. They've been able to get it out. I think that's in the hands of Michael Jordan. He's able to carry the ball through. I just love saying that name.
I want to be like Mike.
James Pond Jones able to carry the ball there in heavy traffic. Lots of guys off their feet for the Roars. Counter ruck coming in a bit late from the Capilanos. Plante with the kick, which is going to bounce just outside of touch, just outside the halfway line. Good passage to play to take off some pressure there from the Roars. That's one of the finer examples of what they've done today. Being able to get out of a pressure situation.
That's going to be the story of the game. If the Rowers pick up any points in the standings from this one, whether it be your bonus point or if they could even get the win, because Capilano just have not seized on those opportunities
good
inside the 22.
Good line from the Capilanos there. Finally a good clean take where it was straight. Jeff McKinnon down to Robinson, who's able to break through the line out line himself. The forwards are there. Chase Kelleher's going to pick up and come back on the short side in front of us. Good scramble, good body positions, good control of the ball at the back. Vince McCauley releasing, back inside again to Sean Hurley, but that unfortunately just right in front. Every time there's a forward pass, it's right in front of us. There's no arguing, but unfortunately gone forward on that offload, that exchange. Lots of Roar fans right in front of us to help the referee make that decision.
And of course, if you're interested in becoming the official opinion maker on the field, we have BC Rugby officiating courses happening all the time. Just head over to bcrugby.com. You'll find the courses and events page, and all of the referee level 1 courses are listed on there in the calendar. So do that regularly. You'll keep up to date on everything going on in BC Rugby.
Good scrum from the Roars under pressure. Looks like a bit of obstruction there. No, it actually looks like some of the Capilano back row released early, so that is a penalty. They got to stay bound. Trumbull having awarded the penalty here, to the rowing club. And I believe this one will be Richard Thompson going for the, no, that's probably not, it's 19. I'm not sure that player's name, but anyways, he's found touch, bullet kick, the ball off the stands. We're going to have a line out here for the rowing club again. John Shaw's playing hooker for the rowing club today. It's been a bit hit and miss in the lineouts for both teams today. Such an important aspect of rugby that hasn't gone well for them. Coming back to the front in between the pods, the Roars able to take it cleanly. Good relay from Shaw. Nice tight pass into the hands of the Roars fly half, into the hands of Plante. He's away to the races. Covered tackle by Cody Pittman. Big tackle from Pittman, actually. Lots of bodies there, and we're not sure where the ball is. Roars are able to produce it. In the hands of Meekin. Moving the ball there into Shaw. Into heavy traffic. Able to keep his feet for an extra couple yards. Seiler over top of the ball. Meekin again. Coming back inside, the Capilanos are present on defense. Plante again, who's been dangerous for the rowing club. Rowers on both on defense and offense.
That was
Meekin
a really
again coming to the open side.
Really great connection between the forwards and the back on that line out that
Good
set up the last 4
Parlato.
phases.
Again, Messi, lots of the strong bodies in there, keeping the ball carrier, preventing him from going to soil. Bit of French came out there again. Ball's not able to be produced by the Roars. We're going to have a scrum here for the Capilanos in their own end.
If you're a fan of French rugby, head over to Library Square. Throughout Six Nations coverage, they have all the Six Nations games on TV on Saturday and Sunday mornings. It's an early start, to be sure, but it's a great way to begin your day. Flip on the TV at 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning, and we have some very high caliber international rugby going on at our partners at Library Square Public House in Vancouver.
Lots of rugby people on the staff there as well. Irishmen, Englishmen, and rugby fans that can help you enjoy your rugby experience that early in the morning. So scrum down here for the Capilanos. Body position seemed to be a bit high in the front rows. Both teams need to work to get a little lower and flatter, but that's neither here nor there. Capilanos on the intro. Rowers trying to get a tight head nudge there. McKinnon's released the ball to Hannum, who puts the ball to boot. Samija is here to field it eventually after letting it bounce. Moving the ball in the hands to Plante. He's going to put it up. Oh, he's soundly met by Pittman after the kick. That could be a penalty situation, but the referee's saying play on. He's not getting any sympathy there. Good work from Crandell, I think, who was able to pick that ball. Looked like he was going to lose it, but he kept it. Robinson is going to come back to McCauley. Big unit McCauley. Good footwork from the big man. Able to beat the first defender. Glenn McKinnon through the line. Finally brought down. Robinson in the sense. Moving it to Yanagia. He's able to dance through the first line of defenders. Soundly met by the last one, though. Ball has been produced. Robinson to Kelleher. Good tackle from Parlato. Again, fighting for that ball. Finally cleaned out. Robinson moving it to Hannum. Full complement of backs here. Pittman able to catch it, not knocked forward. Well, but something else signaled here. It was knocked on. I thought he clapped it before the ground, but obviously the referee's got the right decision here.
It wasn't the Connor Trainer boot to hand move
No.
that we've seen. That was one heck of a hit on Planty as he tried to kick that ball high. Timing is really the question because the hit was there. Whether it was late or not, it certainly looked like it could have been called late when we saw it at full speed. We'll take a look at it later when we do the highlights and do it in a little bit of a slower motion and let you be the judge yourself. We get the highlights up late on Saturday, and we encourage you to check that out on BC Rugby. We'll have the highlights all wrapped up from this game, and I'm sure Planty will want to take a look at it too because he didn't necessarily see that hit coming in real time.
A missed opportunity there from the Capilanos. He started as a nice deep back line, but again, just a handling error under pressure there. Pittman has left us for the day. I believe we're going to have Bowman's on the field at center. Rowers able to get this ball back. Jordan to Meekin. To Plante again, who's been dangerous. Trying to dance around Hannum. He's able to release it to Samija. Jeff McKinnon on the cover tackle. Able to stop Samija, able to catch him. Meekin's going to come back. Into Pon Jones. Work his way into Kelleher and Lanigan. Glenn McKinnon is there. That's always dangerous. He might not get the ball back. Very slow production. Into the hands of Seiler, who's able to dance himself through McCauley. Shaw there in support. Starting to see some guys get a little more fatigue. Back into the inside here. Connor Clearly dancing his way through. I believe that's Brandon Kay who's got the ball. No, it's Parlato, I think, who got the ball there. Shaw to Samija, who's dangerous in open space. He's able to dance himself in front of the open defender. Soundly tackled by Turner and Chase Kelleher in cover. Chase Kelleher very effective there on those second tackles. Shaw running into Crandell. That's Kay. Meekin back into Durham, into Pon Jones, into Michael Jordan, into Samija again. The ball's dancing along.
Held on,
but I believe there's an initial knockout. Rowers within a pretty good passage of play there. It's a bit scrambly, but they're putting pressure on the Capilanos here. They're just really happy to enjoy the possession at this time of the game.
Our referee's positioning was just turned a little bit to the side from us, so I didn't quite see the call, but I think it might have been a forward pass that was being signaled. Good job by the...
There's some good passage of play, balls moving in and out of contact there. Went through the hands of at least 5 or 6 different players in that passage, so good passage of rugby. But it's going to be a scrum here, close to their own try line for the Capilanos. I'd expect them just to get out of their own end and play forward. You know,
we're getting into that last 20 minutes of the game, and the Rowers are still right there. Capilano unable to put them away. So this is where the Rowers are really dangerous in games. If you haven't put them away at this point, they have a lot of surprises for you, and we almost saw a try there from the Rowers. Capilano will try to clear their lines. This ball is a bit off the side of the boot.
Going down the middle of the field. In the hands of Gurniak, who's been very dangerous as well for the Roaring Club. Soundly met by 2 defenders, unfortunately, but Capilanos able to maintain possession, but it's not too clean. Meekin's going to move it into the hands of Seiler. Tackled by Kelleher and Yanagia. Rowers just pressuring on to the Capilanos. Meekin's moved the ball here into Cleary, who's going to be able to release. Rowers into the hands of Samij again. He's going to outrun McCauley in the corner. He's going to take on Turner. He's going to fall just short of that try line.
Yeah, they're right at the line.
They are being very aggressive. A little pick and goal in Pon Jones, but it looks like McCauley's going to spin him into touch. No play on. Into the hands again. Not the cleanest of balls. There's bodies flying all over the place. Capilano's a game possession.
Good clear out there by Capilano.
Great clear out. Good technical clear outs. Lanigan to Hannum. He's going to move the ball. He's going to skip Tucker. Into Zarubu, I believe, is going to have knocked that on. Trying to reach for the ball. It's a knock on. So we're going to have a scrum here for the Rowers. Deep in the Capilano territory. In front of the goalposts.
That wasn't an ideal pass to Zaruba, but if he'd got that ball to hand, he was gone. There was no one to stop that play. And it could have been a try at one end. It could have been a try at the other. What an exciting passage from both of these clubs. And we're going to get a great finish to this rugby game if this trend continues.
For sure. The score, just to remind everyone, the score is 12 for the Capilanos, 7 for the Rowers in this Derby of the Lionsgate Bridge, we're calling it. We're going to have a scrum here for the Roars in front of the post of the Capilano. Roars being rewarded with their performance today with some quality possession here in the last couple minutes.
We have some out-of-town scores as well. Other derbies going on in Victoria. At halftime, we have a 20-15 lead for James Bay ahead of Castaway Wanderers. So another good game going on there. And no report out of UBC versus the Old Boy Ravens.
Not the cleanest of scrums for the rowing club. I guess Chris Robinson's been called offside there on that play. Penalty chance here in front of the post for the rowers. They're going to go for post for Plante, which I think is the right decision.
I like that decision too.
Very safe decision. Get that scoreboard ticking because the rowers have been playing well. They're getting some quality possession here, and it's very important to score points every time they've got the ball.
Strategically, once you get those 3 points on the board, should Plante secure this kick, that would put them within one score of a lead. So you like the passage of play where you're driving towards a goal, but it hasn't been on. So you take the points and you put yourself within a penalty or a drop goal of a game-winning situation.
And the rowers are pumping themselves up here. Samijo is there congratulating one of the second rows. These guys they're here to play. They're keen. The Capilano rower games are always a highly contested match.
Plantain makes easy work of that particular kick, and it brings the scoreline to 12 for Capilano and 10 for the rowers. And this game has been given top billing as our game of the week, and it's really lived up to it.
No, it's been a great rugby event here and a great club day down here at the Capilanos. So Capilano's going to drop the ball back out of here. Hannum to restart the game after the 3 points here from the Roars. Again, bringing the score close here, 12-10 in this highly contested game. He's going to kick long into the box here. It's going to be taken by Pon Jones. Shrugs off the initial tackle from Turner. But Glenn McKinnon's so strong over that ball, the breakdown. Meakin moves the ball to Plante again. He's going to put a long probing kick right down the right-hand corridor of the field into the hands of Turner, I believe. No, it's Hannum. Sorry, he's going to return the ball back up into the air. He recovers it himself into the hands of Turner again. He's going to get tackled and pushed in a touch, but a good passage of play. Well contested by Hannum on his own kick there. Plante, the rowers have played quick. Ball into Plante, tackled by Jeff McKinnon. Reed Tucker there for the Capilanos. Rowers have played quick, but they got the ball in their own end, and they're just going to put a box kick in a touch.
Capilanos were chasing upfield, not expecting that quick line out. Rowers trying a little bit of a cheeky play there, but I don't think their own players were necessarily expecting the quick line out either.
That was Tom Turner, sorry, my apologies for the Capilano on the kick and recovery there. Well played. But the Rowers having not found a great touch finder because they're just right back on their 22, and it's Capilano ball. Good safe front option at the front. I love those. Reed Tucker, good two-handed take from the second row. Young second row for the Capilanos here from the North Shore. Turning this into a driving maul, 3 bodies deep of the ball. Chase Kelleher with his mitts on it. Everyone's going to work ahead of him. Got to move forward, though. They got to make good use of it. The rowers there are selling themselves very dear here in the contest against ball. Pon Jones is there around the ball. He's able to contest it. Capilano's going to have a hard time producing this. And so aptly called by Sherry Trumbull. Capilano's unable to produce. It's going to be a rower scrum right on their 22-meter.
That was a good-looking short line-out. Of course, Mike, you're certainly well known for being able to take a ball on the line-out in your time playing. If you ever go on to any of the rugby games that have been made, and there haven't been a lot in recent years, but the old games always have Mike James playing for Canada as the expert ball taker. So you want to make sure he's in your line-out. Canada always did that, and it worked out well for them.
Well, I'm lucky that I played most of my games before YouTube, so there's very, very little video evidence. We're going to have a scrum here for the rowers on the 22. But what I do like about that line-out, I mean, a line-out is there to win possession. So then if you can win the ball at the front jumper, just take it all day. It's guaranteed. It's the lowest room for error.
If you're on YouTube, you might not find Mike James in the lineup, but you will find some old games between the British Lions and the All Blacks, and it's just a mad scramble on the lineout. There's no lifting. There's no format. There's just the ball going into play.
It's certainly changed. We've got a scrum here with under pressure from the Capilanos. And a penalty here awarded for the Capilanos. Rowers unable to gain clean possession of the ball after that scrum is a bit calamitous for them. Looks like Vince McCauley's come up a bit lame off the tight head for the Capilanos after that scrum.
He's had a strong game. He did take the ball through the tackle line a couple times today, and he's been dangerous with the ball, but I think that injury will slow him down and possibly end his afternoon.
Hannum with a kick to touch there. Going to have a line out for the Capilanos about 10 meters from the Rowers try line. We're going to, I think that's going to be the end of Vince McCauley today, though.
Yes,
He's
I would
had
say
a very
so.
solid game for the Capilanos. Having never seen him play for the Caps before, he's done very well for himself today.
Yeah, he only got into one game in the first half of the season, and this is his second game of the new year, and he is very, very gingerly walking over to the Capilanos bench. He's definitely done for today.
Sean Hurley with the throw for the Capilanos. Capilano lineout again hasn't been very clean. I've had more than a few not straights. Going to Jeff McKinnon today. He's taken the ball 2 or 3 times. Down to Chris Robinson. And in the hands of Hannum, who's going to carry it to the line. Bob Bowman there. Sneaking in. Rob Bowman, sorry, carrying the ball through over. And an unders line. Robinson to Hannum again. To Turner, I believe, on the wing. Trying to get the ball to Adam Zaruba. He has picked up the ball, scrambling through into heavy traffic into 3-4 defenders. Robinson there is going to come back to the open side. Chase Kelleher just calming the ship. He's going to carry it into traffic. 2 rower defenders. Ball bounced down again into the hands of Glenn McKinnon, as it usually does. That ball follows Glenn into his cousin there, Jeff McKinnon. Soundly tackled by Chris Seiler and presented, contesting the ball. Robinson again, into Hannum, into Yanagia. Straight hands here, but good tackle. I believe it's from Durham on the rowers. Robinson again, he's got both sides to attack from. He's going to come down the side, again down the short side here, Sam Lanigan. Capilano's maintaining possession. Putting pressure here on the rowers, but the rowers are present on defense. Glenn McKinnon fending off the captain of the rowers, Seiler. Goes to deck, presents the ball. Robinson to Hannum. He's got runners inside and out to Yanagia, running a bit sideways. Rowers coming up quick on defense. Yanagia met under pressure. Cleary there for the tackle. Must produce. Not the cleanest of breakdowns. Capilano possession. Kelleher. Zaruba. To Reed Tucker. That is not knocked on. That's gone backwards. Play on the big second row. Another ball that's gone to deck to Kelleher.
That one looked like it went forward. No signal.
No signal. Play on. We're not sure where the ball is. Slowing down, but again, the
Caps
rowers have
ball.
done a great job adapting on defense. Lanigan there in the pick and go.
Those rowers defenders must be exhausted by this point.
Well,
they've been
got
heroically defending for the last 4 minutes
Demonstrating
here.
great mental fortitude. Inside pass to Zaruba, was able to shake and bake through one defender there over Roman Plante, who again has been a great defender, stalwart for the rowers today. Yanagia soundly met by Cleary. The rowers midfield has been exemplary on defense today. Durham and Cleary have just really tackled everything that's come, giving up pounds per man. The ball scrambled through and is kicked to touch. Again, rowers just reacting and doing a great job on defense today. But I say hats off to the rowers midfield. Their midfield, their centers, Cleary and Durham have just tackled over their weight class and have been a thorn in the side of the Capilanos today, not able to get clean running ball.
And the Rowers fans standing and giving their team credit for some tenacious defense and for a great show of heart there as they defended their line, continuing to keep the Capilano RFC players at bay, which has been a continual theme today.
Capilano line out. Hurley with the throw. Waiting for the call to come in from Glenn McKinnon. He's going to jump in the back uncontested, but overthrown. Pon Jones is recovered again for the Rowers into heavy traffic. Michael Jordan there. It's gone back. The referee's saying play on. Capilanos have dived on that loose ball. Chris Robinson to Reed Tucker. Into John Shaw. Properly cleaned out. There's a Rowers defender over the ball. Not sure what happened. I believe that was Chapman. He's going to get penalized for just keeping his mitts on there.
Yeah, it looked like he might have been sealing
ding
off
for having
the ball.
your hands on the cookie jar. No Oreos after 9 p.m., sir. We have a penalty here for the Capilanos. Capilanos haven't scored in some time. In fact, they haven't scored this half. We're lots of minutes passed here in this second half. I think they should take the points.
I think they should take the points. They haven't had
Both
anything.
both teams, we've seen the Rowers score 3 points this half, and the Capilanos have a chance to match that output with a shot at goal here for Chris Robinson, well within his range.
And this decision, in a way, is a shout out to the Rowers' defense because Capilano have been frustrated by them continually. So they know that if they go into the corner, it's a higher risk play. They'd rather get themselves 2 scores clear and try to get that score line up to a full unconverted try with a successful kick by Robinson should he make it here.
Yeah, the Roars have played very, very well today. They've been very opportunistic on defense, mentally very, very strong. Certainly there's a great amount of volunteerism here on defense. Everyone's stepping up and playing above their weight today. They've done a very good job.
Capilano involved in another close game. We've seen that so many times from them this year.
He's put that to boot, and it's through. That'll bring the score. The Capilanos up by 5 points, 15-10. Capilanos scoring their first points of the second half here with that penalty kick from Chris Robinson.
Certainly stepping up under the pressure and drilling that one through the uprights. It looked like it was fading for just a second, but did hold its line, and that gets Capilano's scoreline up to 15.
Look at this. Played quickly by Durham. No one home and 10 meters in front of the line. Into the hands of Cleary. Doubles back to Durham again. Capilano's under pressure. What a nifty little play from the Roars. Durham able to step off. Oof, had him. Tackled again. He's a man possessed with the ball here. Michael Jordan at the base of the ruck, carrying the ball into the Capilano territory. About 10 meters out from the line, it looks like, from our perspective here. Roars have really turned the pace of the game here. It's going to be key to maintain possession and present that ball back. Capilano's under pressure on defense here, deep in their own end. They weren't expecting, we're not prepared on that quick restart. Well played by the Roars. Cheeky little play. Referee arm was up, but I think we're fine. If we're into a session of pick and goes here, the Roars really have to concentrate on not making an error. Capilano's present on defense. We're going to come back to an original penalty from offside here against Capilano, so it's going to be a Roars penalty.
That
Again,
restart.
they're going to play quickly into the hands of Seiler. He's going to bury his way into 3-4 defenders there. They've got to get this ball back. There's lots of bodies impeding it. Not sure what's going on. Referee saying play on. Meekin being driven back by Chase Kelleher. Should have taken the points. I think the Roars there would have brought them back within 2 against the Capilanos here. Roars got their hands on the ball. Pick and go, able to drive through. I believe that's Plante again. He's been very dangerous for the rowing club today. A good rugby player. That's Pon Jones, I believe, with the ball. Capilano's highly contesting the breakdown. Lots of mitts in there on the ball. Tough to see what's going on. Meekin, long pass to Durham. Moves the ball to Gurniak. Able to dance his way back into Plante. The backs are playing like forwards. The forwards are playing like backs. Roars Meekin coming down the short side. He's able to release Gurniak. He scored in the corner. Oh, hang on. It looks like the touch judge's flag is up. There could be another foot and touch. It would not be the first time today.
That's a pretty
cheeky play from the rowing club.
Yeah, they surprised everyone with a quick restart a minute ago, and they surprised everyone with a second quick restart.
We had a foot and touch.
That's disappointing for the Roars. They look like
Very
they tied up the
disappointing for
game.
the Roars. But a tidy passage of play. They're all starting from that restart. Nobody was defending 10 meters live. Durham just kicked the ball through, able to recover it himself like a man possessed, dance his way through some defenders, offload to Cleary, back to himself. Capilano's under enormous amount of pressure. Rowers almost able to score there, but unfortunately a foot slipped into touch.
Those restarts fooling everybody except our cameraman down on the far side. We'd like to say thanks to Caden, who's stepped up and been part of our broadcast team. Again, BC Rugby really appreciates the work and support of all of our volunteers, everybody that helps make rugby possible, and not just BC Rugby, but all the clubs have such a tremendous volunteer spirit that makes all of these games possible, lining the fields, prepping players, coaching, everybody that gets involved in the community that allows us to come to moments like this where the big game's on the line, all those people behind the scenes that bring it to you.
Yeah, Caden's doing a great job on that camera. It's not his first rodeo. Capilano line out here, close to their own end. They're going to want to clear the lines. Hurley with the throw in. Again, the lineout has not been great for the Capilanos. Coming forward to Reed Tucker. Great clean lineout option for the Capilanos. They should be doing that all day. They're just going to consolidate possession. Robinson's going to move the ball. He's going to move the ball here to Chase Kelleher, who's going to run it into 2 defenders for the Rowers. Everyone's still on their feet. No one's going to deck. Shoulder tackles. Gents got to bring this guy down. Capilanos maintain possession. Robinson to Hannum, who puts a kick right down the middle of the field into Plante, who's been dangerous for the rowing club today. He's going to circle the ball back to Gurniak, who's been great to scramble. He's going to be able to run around Nate Yanagia here. He's going to run inside. Mills, who's moved the ball into Samija, who's also been dangerous. The 2 wingers for the Rowers have been dynamite today. He's been brought down. We got ball, hands on the ball. Meekin. That ball has gone to ground, and it's messy. Michael Jordan there to recover. Maybe gone to ground a bit too quick. Everyone needs to work on keeping their feet. Going to deck too soon, it just allows the defense to get their hands on the ball. I think that's Cleary.
Just goes to show how important that clean pass from the scrum half is.
Meekin's been good. He's able to probe his way through 2 defenders. The offload has gone to hand. Referee saying play on. Rowers in possession. Working their way. Time of possession here against the Capilanos. Capilano ball. Robinson cheeks out the backside. Does a little cheeky kick off his right foot. In the hands of Durham again, who's been dangerous for the rowing club. Really, honestly. Great dance through. I'm not sure the name of 17, but he's been very present since he stepped on the field. Rowers back into Capilano territory. Keeping the ball in hand. Trying to get through 2 defenders. McKinnon there to make the tackle.
And the tables have turned. Suddenly it's all rowers on the attack now, and the Capilanos are defending.
Rowers are playing with high
ferociously.
desire. High intensity, high desire. They want this game. Capilano's under pressure. Meekin spinning to Jordan. He's going to come inside on Jeff McKinnon on a dive, who misses there. An offload again. Pass has gone forward. You can tell with the body language of the rowers, the frustration. They're trying. But that pass has gone forward.
You know, the rowers have 2 draws on the year already, and they're 1 try away potentially from setting up draw number 3.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable that they've been in that many games. They don't necessarily have that killer instinct to get over the top, but they are getting points in games where sometimes they look like they wouldn't, and that's where they get themselves in that nice comfortable place in the middle of the table where they are. They, of course, want to get the 7, get the lead, but the ball just not quite connecting to that last player, slipping when they get those opportunities.
Well, they've left 3 points on the board here so far in this half again, where they decided to play. But the Rowers are playing with a lot of character today, a lot of character being played. We're going to reset that scrum a few times. This is not the ideal time of the match to be testing the referee's patience. It's going to be a scrum for the Capilano in front of their own posts. Not exactly where they want to be playing their rugby, but they're going to start from here. Robinson with the introduction. Bit of a tight head nudge there. Loose head nudge from Capilano's. Robinson spinning around into the hands of Rob Bowman, sorry. Yanagia into Cleary. He's a sound defender. They're not getting the clean line breaks we're perhaps expecting. The Capilanos are getting frustrated. Glenn McKinnon there on a pickup. Lots of Capilanos there to secure possession. Need to be driving bodies beyond the ball. Rowers present on defense. I believe that's Chase Kelleher again, taking up a hard yard. Jeff McKinnon again, hard yard. Reed Tucker picking up the ball, being tackled by his opposite, number 5, Brandon Kay. Series of pick and goes here from the Capilanos. Not a lot of support for Glenn McKinnon here. Robinson releasing the ball to Hannum. He's got Yanagia and Zarub outside. He's through Hannum. He's got tackled by Gurniak, sorry. Ball still in play. That Durham, he's been the little devil. Kicks the ball down the field into Turner, who's going to find touch.
That was an exciting line break there. Just one more man to beat, but a great tackle by the fullback.
Yeah, just that final gest, that last action. They're getting through. That we've seen about a number, like I would say 5 or 6 today, of these one-hand offloads, and they're either going forward or they're not going to hand. Both teams need to assure possession. They're throwing a lot of balls away. Line out here for the Rowing Club. So we're winding down the second half here. Capilano's up 15-10 over the Rowers in this game of the Lions Gate Derby. Win by Jeff McKinnon. Capilano's have won the rower line out. Chase Kelleher on the recovery. Tackled by Seiler. Capilano's there present. They're just going to try to wear down the clock, wear down the Rowers. The Rowers have been omnipresent on defense today.
You just have to wonder how much is left in the tank for the Rowers. They spent so much time defending. Now that they're on the offense, those legs are probably a little shaky.
I think they got lots in the tank. The Rowers, they're crafty. John Shaw taking 10-meter runs into these breakdowns to try and counter ruck. He's doing a great job. It's 4 in a row he's done right there. They've got lots of energy, lots of time in the tank. Chris Robinson kicks that ball in the touch, and that is the game today. Our final score today at Klahani in our CDI Premiership Game of the Week. Capilanos 15, Rowing Club 10. A great game of rugby, Brendan. What do you think?
That was maybe one of my favorite rugby games of the year that we've done so far together, Mike. The crowd added a lot of atmosphere. The players all really showed some great phases of rugby. We saw pretty much everything you can in a rugby game, from tries, big tackles, exciting runs, and it was a close game from start to finish. So well done to both of these teams for putting on a fantastic display for everybody, and we've had a lot of fun bringing it to you.
Yeah, I thought, again, hats off to the rowers. They have not been at the top of the table this year, but they played with a lot of class and a lot of character today. Very intelligent on defense, very opportunistic in the brief moments they had the ball. Capilano's looked very well structured, but the execution let them down. So they're going to go back to the drawing board and work on the final jests. The little differences are going to make the differences in those big playoff games. But a great game of rugby, and I hope you enjoyed our commentary and the event of bringing our live broadcast, webcast here of the CDI Game of the Week at Klahani Park. Capilano's 15, Vancouver Rowing Club 10. I'm Mike James.
I'm Brendan Monroe. Thanks for joining us here today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
BC Rugby has a 125-year history, a history of success and pride. There's a place for everyone, young and old, boys and girls, one spirit, one team. Some play a small part, some larger, and some, the special ones, they know what it takes to grab onto that history and shake it to its core, inspiring us all. They train for hours, alone, pushed by will, determination, no one watching, no one cheering. They find a way to push a little further, to wring out one more set, one more rep. You know your opponent is training hard, so you train harder. Your biggest threat may not be the opposition, because someone always wants to wear your jersey, to take it from you. What are you prepared to do to keep it? That jersey, that crest, forever bonds you to something bigger, makes you stronger than you could ever be on your own. So you push harder, dig deeper until you have nothing left. Because it's all about the team, those fighting beside you now, and those who came before you. BC Rugby, one spirit, one team. BC Rugby has a 125-year history, a history of success.